Hello students. Today we will start the very first chapter of Footprints Without Feet. The name of the chapter is A Triumph of Surgery. The chapter is written by James Herriot. James Herriot was a British veterinary surgeon and writer. The story has three main characters. The very first is writer himself, James Herriot. Second is a dog, Tricky. And third is Tricky's mistress, Pumphrey. The chapter is written in first person. The title of the chapter is A Triumph of Surgery, where triumph stands for victory. Victory of surgery. Surgery is a name of a place where a veterinary surgeon treats his patients. So let's see. I was really worried about Tricky this time. I stands for James Herriot. As I told you, the chapter is written in first person. I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his mistress, and I was shocked at his appearance. He had become hugely fat, like a blotted sausage, with a leg at each corner. His eyes bloodshot and rheumy, stared straight ahead, and his tongue lolled from his jaws. So here the writer described that he was quite worried when he saw Tricky in the street with his owner, with his mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey. He was shocked to see Tricky because he had become hugely fat, like a blotted sausage. Blotted means unusually large and uncomfortable because of liquid, food, or gas inside. Sausage is a mixture of meat. I am sharing a picture of sausage with you, students, and a picture of a dog with you for your better understanding. Though this picture is not of Tricky, but the condition of the dog is same. Then it says with a leg at each corner. The condition of the dog was not good. He had become hugely fat. That's why his legs seemed very small. His eyes bloodshot. Bloodshot means red and rheumy. Rheumy means a watery discharge from a mucous membrane, especially of the nose or eyes. So here it described his eyes, means Tricky's eyes were bloodshot and rheumy, stared straight ahead, and his tongue lolled from his jaws. Lolled means hang loosely. Mrs. Pumphrey hastened to explain. He was so listless, Mr. Herriot. He seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition. So I have been giving him some little extras between meals to build him up. Some malt and cod liver oil, and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. Nothing much really. So here Mrs. Pumphrey hastened means quickly, without delay. She explained to Mr. Herriot that Tricky was so listless. No enthusiasm, no energy was there. That's why she started giving something extra between the meals because she felt that Tricky was very weak. What she started giving between the meals to build him up? Some malt. Malt means It's a grain that is used for making beer or whiskey. And cod liver, cod is the name of a fish. So cod liver oil was given and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. Nothing much really. And this was also not considered much from Mrs. Pumphrey's point of view. And did you cut down on the sweet things as I told you? This sentence shows that before also Mrs. Pumphrey was advised by Mr. James Harriet to cut down on the sweet things for the dog Tricky. Oh, I did for a bit, but he seemed to be so weak. I had to relent. Relent means when you start the same work again that you refused. So she started to cut down on the sweet things, but she started giving again. Why? Because she felt that dog seemed so weak. He does love cream cakes and chocolate so. I can't bear to refuse him. I looked down again at the little dog. That was the trouble. Tricky's only fault was greed. He had never been known to refuse food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night. And I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pumphrey had not mentioned. So these are the lines spoken by James Harriet over here. He looked down again at the little dog. That was the trouble. He was just speaking to himself. That what was the trouble of this dog? Only fault is that he was a greedy dog to have more and more food. He had never been known to refuse food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night. Here humor, here humor is added by the writer. And I wondered about all those things that Mrs. Pumphrey did not mention to him. For that, he was worrying because whatever things are mentioned, more than that, she used to give, and that had not mentioned by her. Are you giving him plenty of exercise? Well, he has his little walks with me, as you can see. But Hodkin, the gardener, has been down with lumbago. So there has been no ring throwing lately. Ring throwing is a game. I am sure you all know the ring throwing game. It's a good exercise for pet, but this was also not there in this present time. Why? Because Hodgkin, the gardener, he has been down with lumbago. Lumbago is a muscular pain in the lower part of the back. That's why he had no exercise even, and this was the condition of the dog. So here till now we came to know three characters are there. James Harriet is there. He is a veterinary surgeon, and it seems that he is an animal lover, very caring for animals. Mrs. Pumphrey is a very rich single woman, and she is quite attached to her dog. She is very loving, but her will is not strong. And Tricky is a greedy dog, very lazy, fat dog. He loves food, he is fond of his owner, and he presently he is listless. No enthusiasm, no energy is there in the dog. Till now we came to know about this. In the next class we will read the next page. By that time your homework is you will underline each line that describes the dog. Tricky and only underlining. Okay, later we will write the dog. This time you just underline and try to make your paragraph on your own in rough notebook.